Hello everybody and welcome back to LMM. You join me somewhere in the heartlands of Wales for the almost annual Lawrie's done too much and really needs a break video, which is fitting because we're almost 1 week away from World Mental Health Day, which is pretty fitting. Now, this is something that happens to me around this time of year, basically every year, because I do too much, I get to do too many cool stuff, and I completely run myself into the ground. The last few years, I've gone up to Scotland, and 1 year chased the Jacobite, and the other year, I took my MG ZS 180 out on an epic road trip, and came back from it feeling much better. This year, my friends and family got together and went, Lawrie, you need to take a break, and packed me off and sent me to Wales, which is where I am here. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking Wales full of trains. No, they chose somewhere that hasn't got any trains. I know, right? So that's where the upload schedule has been a little sporadic recently, because I have just been I got nothing left, guys. I am so tired. It's unreal. Just having the motivation to sit down and edit stuff together has been just insurmountable. And that's not to say stuff is bad, because it's been an amazing month. We took the 48 up to the Greatest Gathering, was part of that. We've just had the gala at the Whitwell and Reefton Railway, of which there'll be a video coming soon. There's lots of really cool stuff that I've been up to, and videos will be coming out of that, which maybe not as current as I'd like, but just trying to get the motivation to get around and do them has been hard. And behind the scenes, there's a lot of stuff going on at the moment. Some of it is really, really awesome, and hopefully in the upcoming weeks I'll be able to reveal what I'm working on, and you're going to love it. And also, there's the whole thing that we're taking the modular back to the NEC. I promised that we'd have an entirely new modular, and yeah, I haven't finished building either of the sections I've promised to do. And yeah, that's stressing me out. So lots of stuff, and some other, just life stuff that needs to be dealt with in the background. The biggest of all of these things is the fact that YouTube's not been particularly helpful at the moment. Me and many other content creators who I've spoken to are all struggling at the moment. Views are down across the board, and that ranges from the smaller channels to some of the really big guys. In fact, one particular channel that I spoke to who are very big, many times the size of LMM, they said they're having to look at potentially going out and getting some part-time work because views have dropped that much. And that's not because we as content creators are doing anything different. This is because YouTube is trying something again, and basically the algorithm isn't doing quite what we'd all like it to do. But it does make me feel a lot better when I talk to other content creators and they go, something's gone wrong. At least I know that it's not me. And it does make the fact that views have been down across the board recently a little bit more palatable. But there lies the big problem. I'm not too bothered about pushing myself really hard when there are the views and YouTube is throwing enough money to keep me going, because, as most of you know, YouTube is my full-time job. But when that income takes a dramatic drop down, I very quickly go from being like, yeah, I'm surviving doing this, and I get to support my hobbies, and I get to support all these amazing societies and museums around the country, to, everything's got really quite worrying. And full disclosure, I spent most of my savings getting to this point of actually getting LMM up and going, and I'd really quite like LMM to be at the stage where it's kind of putting some money back into those savings, so I can buy more vehicles. Because every time I do have a sum of money, I tend to go and buy more stuff, and admittedly that's bad planning on my behalf, but it would be nice to have a bit more of that income coming in, because very much at the moment my income is, well over 50% down, in fact a bit more like 70% down on where it is, and that goes from being, I can just about carry on doing this, pay for food, rent, fuel, to, I don't have anything left in the tank, both emotionally, mentally, or financially. So this is a genuinely scary time. And to be honest, it has made me question whether or not I can keep doing this. Because unless things make a very rapid turn to go back to at least where they were, I don't have the money to do this. And that takes its strain on one's mental health, knowing that you've put all this effort into it, and it's so close to working, and it was almost working, to the fact that it's not. And when you've got the option of staying up and pulling an all-nighter to finish a video, or going, what's the point? When you're not really earning the money from it, you kind of go back down to the, what's the point, I'll do it later. And with everything else going on at the moment, it has kind of been that repeatedly. And that obviously then hurts the channel and you into a kind of a downward spiral of, why am I bothering to do this? Nobody's watching it. Well, the video hasn't got out. Nobody watches the video because there isn't a video. So it's all fine and well. Now, as I said, this normally happens around this time every year that I've realised I've done too much. It's been a busy summer. I've been volunteering on top of doing videos, going filming stuff, trying to make vehicles work, just going out on an epic road trip. It's all been rather good, and certainly I wouldn't have it any other way. And the truth to a lot of this is I would be doing an awful lot of this stuff even if I wasn't doing the channel. It's all stuff that I love. I love taking the fire engine out. I love driving steam engines and railway vehicles and being involved in heritage and trying to put stuff back together again. I love working on vehicles. I love working on vehicles after we fix them. Not at the time. At the time, it's frequently very unpleasant. But I'm very lucky to get to this. I'm so lucky to get to promote this stuff and get to live this frankly amazing life that I do. So basically, bear with me and give me this. After this week, I should be back and kind of going on, firing on, yeah, mostly all cylinders as we kind of work our way through. And certainly without the support of Dave, Tom and Loz, LMM would have probably folded a long time ago because they have taken between them a fair chunk of the work and made things passable for me. So the big question is, what is the future? Because at the moment, I don't really know. Obviously, the algorithm isn't really working for us at the moment, which is a shame. And at the moment, we will have a decent video go out, say a railway video, and then the following video that's road-based won't do well. And the algorithm just doesn't seem to like the fact that this is a channel for just vintage machines, railway, road, whatever. Previously, it seemed to kind of work, getting us up to this stage that kind of this was just where old stuff was. But it doesn't seem to work anymore. And so I don't know where the future is. And obviously, at the moment, it's kind of a double-edged sword. You know, there's lots of people who just enjoy vintage machinery and stuff will come here. But equally, people who just want the railway sides of things won't watch the side of, say, the fire engine. And if you're not watching the fire engine videos, well, then they do worse, and it kind of brings the whole channel down. The algorithm is a very fickle beast. So it's working out what to do now and working out how to make it better. Because, as I said, if it doesn't get better soon, in fact, if it doesn't get better by the end of the year, it will be the end of it, because I can't afford to do this. I can't afford to keep making videos, which will be a shame because I really enjoy it. But sometimes you've got to be realistic of what the future is. And if there's no money in it, I've thrown enough time, effort and money into making these videos that it's the hard decision. Right? And realistically, as much as I'd love to keep doing this forever, if I'm not earning any money, I just can't. So, yeah, is the simple answer. Hopefully, come the new year, things will have picked up again and we'll be working. Obviously, for us as content creators, December is normally a very good month because people pay more money for adverts from, well, November into December because of the Christmas thing. And for several content creators I know, this period of time is where they bulk up on money to get them through the rest of winter, because traditionally January and February are normally low earning months. And if I keep going the way that I'm going, I'll earn effectively nothing during that time, and that would basically mean it's the end. Hopefully, things will get better. Certainly for growth on the channel as well recently has been really low, which has again not been helped by the fact that I haven't been putting videos out, and to a degree not been helped by the fact that we stopped doing shorts, which we also felt weren't helping us with the algorithm. Lots of people say that this making videos lark for YouTube is an easy job, but there's so much more than just making a video. Trying to work out what's going to do well, how to make that work with the algorithm, the correct decisions to make to promote your content, it's all next level stuff, and trying to do it on your own is basically impossible. And again, thanks to the rest of the LMM team for being there and helping to go through these decisions and try and share that burden. So the big thing, as I said, is I don't really know what the future is. If you really enjoy LMM and you've enjoyed watching the videos and you want me to keep making videos, then in the nicest possible way, please go check out the Patreon, because that literally is what has been keeping the wolf from the door. That pays for my rent and that keeps the shed. Without that, there would not be a channel. But if everybody who watches this video was on the Patreon paying just £1 a month, well, I would be in a lot better place and be able to relax a little more about what we're doing. One of the things we're thinking of doing on the Patreon and bringing out for you guys is eventually, when I have a bit more time, is bringing in a tier system. And part of that, we're going to start putting out the videos completely ad-free for you guys to enjoy away from YouTube, because I know I hate ads. I particularly hate ads when I have to watch them on my own video. So if I want to check a video to go back in time and check a reference on something, I hate the fact that I have to watch the adverts on my own content. That infuriates me. And frequently with other content, when the ads come on, I'll go, that's enough, and I'll turn it off. However, without them, I don't earn money. So if you are running an ad blocker or anything on YouTube, you wouldn't mind turning it off, because yeah, without that, I don't get money. Or keep it running and go to the Patreon and just chuck us a quid or two a month. Again, if all of you did that, all of these worries would go away, and my own mental health and worries would be a lot better. Because, I mean, I know it's true with any job, and we all struggle with this, is the fact that you've finished a job and then you're immediately on to the next one. You know, you file that report, you're on to the next one. You finish building that thing, you're on to the next one. You finish driving that bus or train for the day, immediately you're on to the next one. But it doesn't half feel at the moment that it doesn't let up. My entire life is finish a video right, and now I need to work on the next video, and it never seems to be enough to get ahead. This feels like a very moany video about my life choices and what I'm doing. I don't want it to be that, because I'm really lucky. I love getting to do all of this. I love getting to showcase stuff, and I'm so proud of LMM and the community that it's made. I just really like it to work. You know, I'd like it now to be doing the thing where it works and that I can actually earn a wage from it, because it'd be lovely to actually earn a wage and not be at that stage of just, well, at this stage. So there we go. That's why there's not been videos. I have been, frankly, too busy and too burnt out to make stuff happen. Again, entirely my own fault and poor planning, and I don't think I'd changed it, because there's been some incredible experiences over this summer. I just need a little bit of breathing room. So hopefully, as I am not meant to be doing anything, I mean, I smuggled my laptop and my camera in, and I wasn't meant to bring these with me either. Hopefully, by the end of this week, I'll be feeling better and firing again on all cylinders, and we can get back down to proper, regular scheduled content. And then, hopefully, it will pick up. Because if it doesn't, there's a very real chance that this will be the last year of LMM. Because I can't keep doing it, guys, for no money. It's really sad, and it feels rubbish to say it. But unless things change, I can't keep doing it. So that's fun. But yeah, so if you do want to keep it going, please check out the Patreon, and I should be fine. And I appreciate that in previous videos where I've done this and said that I'm running out, people say, well, don't worry, we'll wait for the videos, and I really appreciate it. It's lovely to know the audience will wait. But the long and short of it is, if I don't put out content, I don't get paid, and I can't afford not to put out content. And that's the way of it. And certainly, if I go back to, say, lorry driving and going back to having a regular job, I won't be able to produce this kind of level of content. Won't be able to get 2-3 videos a week. Won't probably even get 1 video a week. And then I guess that would be the end of it. So, big decisions to be made in the future. Not quite sure how they're going to be. But in the meantime, lots of exciting stuff is lined up to going to happen, and that's all very exciting. And one way or another, stuff will continue, probably, hopefully. So, yeah. I'm going to go and chill out and do nothing and just look at the scenery and work out where the nearest Heritage Railway is, because that's probably a good idea. But to end this thing, thinking ahead to next week's National Mental Health Day, do go check on your mates. Because if you know somebody who's gone quiet or they've kind of isolated themselves, you never know the difference it might make for you just reaching out and saying, hey, do you want to go for a drink, or do you want to meet up, or just saying hello. Makes a huge difference to people when they're feeling isolated. And again, I'd be in a far worse place if it wasn't for the rest of the LMM team, to Dave, Tom, and Loz, and the Hat, and Kraken, and Ben. Having these people around makes a big difference. And when I say in a much worse place, I'm not particularly in a bad place at all. I am just knackered. Absolutely, completely, utterly knackered. And financially, stressed, which I know, we're in a cost of living crisis, so I know that lots of people are, but that's fine. So I wouldn't say that I'm in a stage of being, I wouldn't be worried about me. No, I don't think we're anywhere near that. But do check on your mates. You never know what a big difference it might make. So with that, I'm actually going to do nothing. Actually, that's a complete lie, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to go upload this onto my laptop, edit it together with some nice little bits of video to make some nice points, and then I'm going to go do nothing. And go onto Google Maps and find out where the nearest railway is until I get picked up and taken home. So, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for the support. I don't mean for this to be a miserable, moany video, but it's just a realistic look at what's going on at the moment and the truth of it. And I've always tried to be transparent with you guys on what's going on, and that's where we are. So again, thanks for the support. Thanks for being part of the community. And I will do everything in my power to make sure that this doesn't disappear, but things have got to change soon. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. If you have enjoyed this one, how about clicking over there for my last mental health video, or down there for the last adventure I had in Scotland to get away from everything. So, thanks. And yeah, hopefully everything will kind of pick up back next week, because we got stuff with tanks, the Whitwell Gala, showing the 48 coming home, ship up to Scotland for the Jacobite, more Lawrie Goes Loco. Yeah, there's a lot to come out.